Okay, we're going to look at flowcharts and functions, and these. This video goes with a worksheet that you can use. The relationship and function rules are created from given information. So you've got a rule. You have to have a rule where you've got an input value, something you put in. It goes through the some sort of mathematical machine or a rule or a relationship operator is what they call it here, and it becomes something, it comes out something. If one thing goes in, one thing goes out, that's what makes it a function. And that's why it's called an output value. Now, say you've got a taxi company and it's offering student tickets for learners at school transport. The student ticket will cost $12.50 per trip plus a 50 Rand minimum. So there's a 50 Rand minimum 50 Rand with a minimum of 10 trips, it says. Well, the 10's not so important, but the 50 minimum is. We can build an equation where n is the number of, the rule begin with the number of trips. If n is the number of trips, we go 1250 times n plus 50. So n represents the number of trips. Okay, so that's your formula. So what will a ticket for 20 trips cost? Well, you just put 20 in for n, 12.5 times n, and then you add 50, and it's going to cost 300 Rand. Okay, and now let's see what it looks like here. If you have just an equation like minus 3x plus 2, if that's your mathematical rule, these are your input numbers. So if we take -3 and we go -3 times -3, we get +3 plus 2. There's your output number, 11. You can pick any of these numbers. 0 minus 3 times 0 plus 2, it comes out to be 2. Minus 3 times 4 is minus 12, plus 2 is minus 10. So any input number you put in goes through the operation and it becomes an output number. There's something else called an inverse here. You know that if you go 4 and you add 5, you get 9. If you wanted to go back to what you started, you'd have to do the opposite operation. You'd subtract 5 and you'd get back to 4. That's what an inverse operation is. So if you knew that the operator was x plus 3, and you knew you had 7, and you go, well, I wonder what the input was, you just have to do the opposite. Take 7 and subtract 3, and you'd figure out the input. If you had 4, you'd take away 3 to get back to find out what the input was. So if you were given a function and output numbers and you wanted to get back to what the numbers you put in, you need the opposite operation to make that happen. Okay.